Hey guys, my name is Willie from San Jose BMW. I'm here with my friend Chris from Bell Helmets. We're here in Santa Cruz, California. We just grabbed some coffee at Verve and figured we'd take a second here and just do a kind of first ride review. We just received this BMW R18 yesterday at the dealership, San Jose BMW. We've been in business since 1974 and have a huge heritage in racing, and my pops was around when they had bikes that were styled like this, but it's been a while, and so I figured we'd just take 2 seconds, kind of talk about it, talk about what it was like to ride. It's a new segment for BMW. It's also the largest motorcycling segment, so I'm sure there's going to be a lot of opinions. People are going to love some stuff and hate it, but I think overall it was a fabulous experience. I just rode from Highway 17, takes from San Jose over to Santa Cruz. Notoriously dangerous, lots of high-speed turns. Lots of bumps mid-corner. You're probably talking 55 to 70, depending how you ride, maybe a little bit faster if it's Saturday morning and there's no traffic. I typically like to thrash it, ride it right to the end and crash, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm calling him for helmets more than the average bear, but yeah. Anyways, so I didn't find dragging any foot pegs, I didn't touch a muffler. It was really controlled, actually. The fact, when I first was riding it, I was trying to okay, I'm gonna ride a cruiser. But when I started giving it a little more and telling it what to do, it was great. Mid-corner, super stable. Didn't matter if I hit a bump mid-corner, it was really planted. And I found that with that shaft drive, when I gave it gas, it gripped the road better. It was really interesting.
But then it has a slipper clutch as well, right?
Yeah, that's right. So I didn't know this when I first rode it. Obviously didn't finish the technical intro, but you could tell when you were downshifting that it just had this really easy transition from on gas to off gas. And typically, you get that engine brake, that chirp of the rear tire, the desettling of the rear end. So the slipper clutch really helps to modulate that. That's what it is. The features on it and a lot of the stuff for a cruiser bike is exactly what you'd expect. Very common for some of these cruiser bike segments. I feel like BMW did a really good job of respecting that and not trying to, have a cruiser bike with 3 cylinders or 1 cylinder or just kind of change the whole category. They kind of stuck to what's known. I gotta say, I can't think of something I would change on it right off the bat when it comes to the styling. What's your thought?
Styling, I thought when you rode up, I was pleasantly surprised, I should say. I mean, in the industry, a lot of people have been talking about this bike as far as aesthetics and just the fact that BMW was stepping into the space. And when I first saw it, I was blown away, to be perfectly honest. It's beautiful. It's a great looking bike. Like you were talking about the drive shaft earlier. It's nickel plated, right? Is that what you said? Nickel plated. Yep. And
it's got kind of a warmer tone to it than the typical chrome.
Right, exactly. And the turn signals and everything there, it seems like they're sometimes on these bikes they can be kind of obnoxious. These are kind of tucked in. Everything looks like it's where it's supposed to be. It's beautiful. Yeah. It's got this old military kind of styling front end here and gas tank.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
It feels a little heavy everywhere, like a cruiser, I'm used to more of sport bikes, but it actually adds to the experience. It feels really quality, the rigid mounted bars with the way they mounted them to the clamp there, and honestly, just looking down that tapered fork and front end, it just really has a classic, very true to BMW kind of look and feel. It's really great, and some of the things that I thought were nice that I haven't seen yet in the cruiser world. It's got reverse. It's manually engaged, so you just flip the lever, hit the starter button, it backs itself up. It's really nice, makes life easy. It's got riding mode, so you can kind of set it appropriately. Wet weather riding, you can easily put it in rain. And then it has, this is a little on the dorky side, but they're calling the riding modes roll for your kind of cruising in town, and then rock for your get up and boogie. So whether you love it or hate it, it's a great option to be able to adjust it. Maybe not the best of names I feel like, but that kind of lets you know like how important like respecting this what space was for BMW. So like even when you just pull the lever, I've never felt the lever that had that kind of feel other than a classic cruiser, you know. So thanks for tuning in. Wanted to give you guys a little review. I've never owned a cruiser, but this definitely is going to find its way into my garage.